politics, what the sister be. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Turks and Caicos and Ahriman. You see, the governor of Turks and Caicos, people them way run Turks and Caicos, right? Call out Ahriman 87s directly and say they're playing a major role, right, in their murder rate spiking. Yes, this right here, so, is PR disaster. Me I wonder what Umbre will say, but I will talk about that towards the end of this video. In case you don't know, Turks and Caicos is a British overseas territory, like Cayman. This is a place where historically, them don't really know about much badness. That doesn't mean say nobody's ever been killed in the country, right, back in the day, but you can already think of it similar to Portland, a place where it's mostly, domestic affairs and everything there, but in terms of large scale gang activity and everything there, it's kinda brand new to them. This is one of the reasons why they're struggling. Turks and Caicos is currently having a record-breaking year for murders. Guess how much people been killed so far? 26. Now, of course, people say 26. That's not that much. Well, those are the same people who this Jamaica reach like 500, 600, 700, 900 and so well, 900 murders. That's not that much. It's all about the population. You see, the population of Turks and Caicos is, just call it roughly 40,000 people, give or take. To put that in the context, Portland, right, have a population of over 80,000. So Portland, which is a small parish in terms of population, is double the Turks and Caicos. One of our smallest parishes in terms of population is still double, right, the amount of people in the Turks and Caicos. And Portland is a place where if it get 20 murders, that's a very bad year. If Portland touch 25 murders, very, very bad year. So in a place that have half the population of Portland, 50% less people, already reached 26 murders and the year not done, you can understand why they're panicking. Their governor have described it as a national crisis. I'm going to play an audio from RGR, right? Just a little small clip, so we have an idea what go on. We can go over there and check out the rest. But you're going to hear from the police commissioner, I think, at the start. Then you're going to hear from the governor. Then you're going to hear from a Jamaican businessman named Nelson Stokes, who is familiar with Ahriman and Turks and Caicos. Then we get back to him. Check this out.
A shooting out towards Long Bay, down Havendale Rock. As a result of that, the police intercepted a vehicle, which we believed to be containing the people who'd committed the shooting. During that interaction, the criminals in that vehicle have fired upon the police car, which has resulted in the vehicle being struck a number of times and a police officer being injured. There are other incidents going on as we speak, which we're managing. Please just remain calm. We'll give you more information later, and we're working hard to keep control of the situation.
A step change occurred in the environment the territory faced in September. It was, and it is, as dramatic to this island community as similar dramatic shifts in the security situation that much larger states have had to absorb. Those have been linked to major acts associated with terrorism. For TCI, it is related to Jamaican gangs and serious transnational crime rather than international terrorism.
It's sad for me to say that I have grown accustomed to that in Jamaica. It is entirely shocking that this type of violence has reached to the pristine shores of the TCI, as if it were the most recent hurricane. These are a set of islands where I grew up hearing from my father that persons died of old age. Of course, there has been occasional murderous violence, which I have suffered in a very personal way. But what we have seen now is unprecedented 14 murders in a single month, September, which is multiples of what has occurred over the last many years. And 3 so far in October, including a tourists passerby.
Sound serious. I'm talking about the TCI governor made an entire speech, right, talking to the bigger heads them in the UK, because as I say, it's a British overseas territory, right? The UK is responsible for the security of the island. So when things now go right, when they want help, that's who them call upon. So here they might talk about shooting police, or shooting after police. A policeman was shot. But the concept of people shooting after police is not brand new to Harriman. But for Turks and Caicos, people that shoot after police, it have them nervous. They don't know what going on. Now, this is what them say. And this is the first thing that stand out to me. Because remember, Turks and Caicos are the UK responsible field. The same UK, right, that is the final court for Jamaican affairs. The same UK that from time to time is to put out statements say, this not right and that not right and you shouldn't do this and why you do this, and listen up carefully. Because now that one of the British overseas territory is struggling to deal with crime, is actually getting a small dose of what Harriman have to deal with. A small dose. Them still not have a clans, them never have stone crusher, nothing like that. It's a small dose. Listen to what them are saying now. This is from the governor, and I quote, "Despite these challenges, there have been arrests, but current legislation only allows the police to hold for 48 hours. And with witnesses and victims not prepared to talk, even those who have been shot, the policing challenge is significant." Why is he complaining about being able to hold man for 48 hours? When the JCF did first bring it up, people say, you know, why not do a better job doing this and that? So now me ask, why wouldn't say the TCI must do a better job? After all, they have the resources of the UK at hand. You see, the old tired laws that Jamaica have were left behind by the British, right? They are relics of Jamaica's colonial era. Those laws were written in a time when they did not have to deal with no high levels of gang warfare, right? Bands of roaming 87s with high-powered weapons wasn't a thing. But when countries like Jamaica, right, got quote-unquote independence, right, when people realized, hold on, things they get to their hand, they should have reacted immediately. Instead, them wait until 2022, 60 years later, to finally start draft some half-decent laws. And them have whole heap more for draft, right, before them serious. Anyway, here's the next part that stand out to me. He said the police force and the TCI is going to get trained more, right, by the UK. Right. You see my underline narrated, right? They're going to mirror, right, the security forces capabilities of them over England in a TCI. In other words, police in a TCI are what can do exactly what police in London or the rest of England can do. They might get the same kind of training like Scotland Yard. Before they never need it because they weren't dealing with these issues, but now, right, they might deal with young activity. They besides say they might mirror, right, what go on in London or the London police capability. And here is something else they're going to copy from the UK. They're going to allow judge-authorized exploitation of mobile telephony. Let me say that one more time. They're going to allow for judge-authorized exploitation of mobile phones. In other words, the judge can sign some papers and, let's just say, them can get them intel. Them go on to state say, the Turks and Caicos cannot fight transnational gangs without it. No police force could. These are extraordinary measures. Allowing judge-authorized exploitation of mobile phones. That's a big move. Remember, this is a place that is ultimately governed by the UK. So when you hear a TCI attack, understand that this is like the finger or the arm of the UK attack. By extension, this is a UK policy. It goes on to state that an anti-gang team of 24 detectives funded by the UK, right, to the initial tune of £3 million is being recruited. So they're investing heavily in crime fighting. The governor go on to state say an anti-gang team of 24 detectives funded by the UK, right, to an initial tune of £3 million is being recruited. Right, and him also mentioned say further on in the speech that them actually have police and them thing there from the UK who have arrived in the island already, right, and I work with the local police. But me I wonder which part of the money there for the social intervention. Where is, I see no mention of social intervention as well. Me hear about new laws where judge can authorize exploitation of mobile phone, right, 24 new detectives, on an island as small as TCI, if you get 24 new foreign detectives. Right, the whole heap. Plus they already had security forces personnel who arrived before. How much millions of pounds spent. Me I look to see what the social intervention because that's how them tell us they fight crime, right? Social intervention. Where are the social intervention programs? Them know say when it comes on to serious crime fighting, when you're dealing with serious gangs, right, you actually put the money into areas that are going to deliver tangible results, such as detectives, such as prosecutors, right, such as your intelligence gathering apparatus, right, equipment for your security forces, you know, things like that. Right. I'll know me not nothing about no social intervention, so I go on. Right. And the UK is woker than woke. But now that's one of their beloved, right, overseas territories is coming under threat. Them not depend on a social intervention program. Them not depend on chatting with the 87. Right. Them go as far as to publicly call out another island. That's how serious they are. I'm going to show you why them forget so serious towards the end of this video. I'm going to show you one more thing from the speech. He goes on to mention that with all of this combined, we will have all but replicated the UK's counter-terrorism policing model. Counter-terrorism. He uses the word terrorism a number of times in the speech. Interesting. I remember people saying, you can't call gangs terrorists because that's too extreme. Right. That's what the woke activists say. Now we're seeing the British, right, the British governor, refer to gangs in TCI and their activities as terrorism. You might talk about counter-terrorism. Goes on to state, through it, gangs will be brought to justice and not just suppressed. In other words, them not interested to make bad man cool. Enough of the policies that people try to bring in Jamaica are designed to make man cool. When you hear people say, oh, we need to negotiate with them, we need to want social intervention, all of these things are designed to make gunman cool. Keep your guns, keep your 87s, keep your 90, keep your 116, keep your network of gun, but as long as you not shoot up the place today and you're cool, then that is success. In other words, just hold it down, don't make it look too bad. Here we're seeing the governor for TCI said them not interested in suppressing the gang. Them want to destroy them completely. This is a very hardcore stance coming from a little place like TCI. This is very hardcore coming from the British. Again, woker than woke. You see, it's easy to be woke when time things comfortable in your place. It's when people on the streets of London and Birmingham they feel safe. And the overseas territories like, TCI they feel safe. It was easy if you cock out their foot and say, no man, take it easy man, not go too hard. But when they realize, oh hold on, things are get ugly, step it up. We don't want to suppress no gang. We want to get rid of them completely. Very hardcore. Now, I have a couple things more to say about this. One, the TCI governor say them want the Jamaican government to help them. Right? Basically crush the gangs them in a TCI. At least the gangs them that are aligned to Jamaica. And since Jamaican 87s are playing a big role in them gang violence, them want Jamaican government help them out to deal with these 87s. Clearly, unicorn activity is going on here. How can the Jamaican government crush gangs in TCI when the Jamaican government can't crush gangs in Jamaica? You're telling me that you think the Jamaican government that fails to deal with gangs that are so open about their criminality, them record themselves and put it on social media. You're telling me that you think that Jamaican government is going to help you in TCI deal with your crime issues when they cannot deal with crime issues on Jamaican shores? Help you and them want help? Them can't even deal with bed bugs. Big up TCI people them. But quite frankly, we have our own problems to deal with. Jamaica is struggling to deal with crime. Helping TCI fight for them crime. is not exactly high on the list of priority. No, I know that sounds harsh, but hey, we have to put Jamaica first. When Jamaica starts to see significant reductions in crime, then we can start worry about TCI, right, and the BVI, right, and BCIC and all kind of things. Now, if you can show us that 87s in TCI are helping to contribute to the violence in Jamaica, for example, you show them and send back going at them a fun war in Jamaica, well, that's a different issue. No, things have to be done. I understand 100% that you're frustrated that Jamaicans, right, in your country are helping to be a part of the problem, and I would be frustrated too, right, if TCI gangs are operating in Jamaica and I contribute significantly to the Jamaican murder rate. I would also be very frustrated. So I understand 100% where people are coming from. Suppose TCI could start deport, right, in big numbers the 87s them will carry out gang activity in them country. Then all them 87s are going to drop a Iron Man, and then now they become our problem. TCI no want them. Iron Man no want them. I mean, we have to find some and send them. Right? The last thing Jamaica needs is more 87s. You know, it really annoys me. All over the world, US, UK, Canada, TCI, Cayman, 87s from Iron Man, go to them foolishness, and then people start to say these Jamaicans. And people who have legit jobs, people who no trouble nobody, no, I get dragged into the madness. And you might argue, well, them can't slap because I don't like slap everybody. Of course, it's not everybody. But let's be realistic here, so. Or at least, let me speak for myself, coming on the boat, right, on a walk. Let me tell you this right now. If it was reversed, if people from Canada or people from the TCI, right, were migrating to Jamaica in big numbers and then start to spike the murder rate, which is every year 100 murders come from people, right, who originally came from TCI or originally came from Canada, I would be right here saying, why is the Jamaican government not doing something about those Canadians? Let me repeat myself, because I say, no walking on. But I'm telling you, how me I look on it. If another country, if any foreign country residents drop a Iron Man, and when you say them drop an extra 100 murders, they're responsible for 100 murders. Matter of fact, 100 too much. If I even 20, we might have an Iron Man attitude, open arms to everybody attitude, and also the rest of the world look on it. The rest of the world only have time to deal with them criminals. They don't want to deal with your criminals. Notice how Uncle Sam moving on. You think Uncle Sam shot at criminals? Them just not want to deal with your criminals. Anyway, next thing I want to talk about regarding the same TCI and the laws them want to bring in and legislation. See them talk about them going to use military and police helicopters now for fight crime, and judge can make them exploit phone. Next thing I want to ask you, did anybody see the TCI government or the British government ask for Jamaica's input on any of their policies with how them go fight crime? All them say is help us get out the gangs. In other words, a fooling 87 them, so we don't know where them come from and have details about them. So work with them and get rid of them. That's what they're saying. You know what they're not saying is, hey Jamaica, tell us what you think about giving judges access or the ability, right, to give police access to people's mobile phone. Hey Jamaica, tell us what you think about bringing in one extra 24 detectives. Hey Jamaica, tell us what you think about passing this law. Them no business. Them no ask for no opinion. Do you see any Jamaican groups, right, offering any statements regarding TCI or British policy? No. But it's always the other way around. Every time Jamaica tries to do something, here comes people from the UK, Europe, North America. All kind of groups, all kind of quote-unquote experts telling us this nothing happen and that nothing happen. That's interesting to me. So these countries don't care about Jamaica's input, but every time Jamaica do something, we hear about for them input. Again, because this is tolerated. None of these countries consult with Jamaica when time to bring out them new law. None of them not ask Jamaica what them think about this. If the UK come out with a law tomorrow and say they're going to bring back, right, the policy when name hang, draw and quarter, they would not ask Jamaicans for their opinion. Do you know what it means to get hung, drawn and quartered? Google it. If them said I bring it back tomorrow morning, they would not consult Jamaica for a second. They would not call Andrew Wallace and say, tell what you think, right? Or you decide if this is right or wrong. They will not. They are going to do what they want to do. You see, the relationship between Jamaica and enough of these big countries is similar to a parent and a child. Just look how them talk to Jamaica. These people don't ask for permission for nothing. These people don't send their last decision regarding matters related to them country to Jamaica to get a decision made. So that shows you said the relationship is not mutual. The relationship is more like a parent and a child. Because Pitney, right, have to consult with parent and parent sign off on things and say go on ahead. But parent not have to get no permission from Pitney. Put on your diapers, put on your nappy, and go sit on one side. Yeah. Pitney thing. Even the matter regarding resuming hanging. This is a matter for Jamaica and Jamaica alone. If it's so stressful for your favorite leaders then to make a decision, if they don't want to be the one to come under the pressure, put the referendum to the Jamaican people. Make the Jamaican people decide. Since they can't make some decisions, since some of the issues them too serious for no, right, when you don't have the cojones to make a decision either way, right, whether for or against, put the referendum to the Jamaican people. But it's a Jamaican matter. Jamaica alone. So finally, I'm going to finish off by asking this question. The people them will say, talk about the good things them. Which one I want to go check the TCI governor? Which one I want to go tell them to talk about the good things them? The people them would say, we are talk about this for? Who are going to tell the TCI governor? Who are going to tell the British government say, yo, talk about the good things them? I wonder if Umbre himself are going to talk about the good things them. Tell the TCI governor say, yo, don't call Jamaica name and a foolishness, man. You talk about the good things then. When you not going to say that? The people them who, love to come tell me about yourself. We don't talk about this and talk about that. Well, I'm going to tell the TCI governor that. Tell London that. You won't. You see me, I'm going to end this video by showing you something on my screen. When you see what that is? That is the Miami Herald. Tourists get killed. In the same gang war what I talk about, at Turks and Caicos, a tourist has been killed. An American tourist has been killed. The Turks and Caicos is mainly run by tourism. The main money maker is tourism. Number one for them. You see when time things like this reach the Miami Herald, and people who associate the Turks and Caicos, the TCI, right, with peaceful life, when them start hear about the gang war, when them start hear about tourists dead, they might reconsider booking a ticket. So right now the country's pockets might get hurt. Me telling about tourists. Me telling them to stay far away and Billy Joe and win it because that's the golden egg. Same thing would have happened to Ironman. Any on to make Ironman go up on the Miami Herald. I only seen the big headlines. Three tourists killed, straight shot killed them in Mobile. And that go up on the American newspaper. All on the 87s. We say, untouchable, we're not going to know who serve. In the Ironman, many people talk about, we're now seeing cases of domestic terrorism as it relates to the shooting of one in Old Harbour. Right? When the staff from the chicken company, right, get caught up in a shooting. You see people talk about, we're now seeing domestic. Now seeing? Go check the year when Tredegar Park happened. In Old Harbour, there's 9 shot and 3 dead. In Tredegar Park, 8 people lose their life. And many of them were children. Klansmen go over there, go turn the place upside down. It's just that as long as the murders were in Tredegar Park, and the people them would get wiped out, quote unquote, and in a body, then it wasn't a big issue. It was okay if you keep talking about your chicken. But no, the violence is no longer confined to places like Tredegar Park, Rima, Garden. It's no longer confined. Spreading like the big sea. Anyway, Patreon Squad, big up on yourself. PIA, you don't know, no life. Patreon Squad, see you circling. Bless.